Good morning, friends. I welcome you on behalf of RERA Practitioner Welfare Association to the continuous knowledge sharing webinar on various subjects which are conducted. And now we would like to make a habit that every Saturday we will have at 11 or 12 noon some free webinar for the benefit of members and professionals, developer, agent, etc. Uh, we have established our association in August 2021, and since then we have been doing many programs on online mode. We are planning one physical program for the first time in June, last week of June, on the very burning issue, that is issues of labs project and how to revive it. And we would like to call upon various key person like chairperson of MAHRERA, Gujarat RERA also, to discuss, to have a panel discussion on the issues of the stall project. Now today we are going to discuss the topic on the Gujarat RERA. As an association, we would like to expand our activity to national level, and hence we have started uh, asking the speaker to talk on various other states subject. Like today we have CM Mahadev Birla on Gujarat RERA certification and audit, which is very crucial for a chartered accountant. So I request all the members present here or all the participants to spread the knowledge of this association to other professionals and help us in getting more and more membership, because together we can do many things. There are many speakers, and we welcome the speaker to come forward and contribute on their liking subject, and we are all ready to help out. These are the platform where speaker will get a chance to speak, to express his view, and so on. So today, one minute. Yeah, today we have CA Mahadev Birla, a very young and dynamic chartered accountant. I'll just introduce him. He cleared his chartered accountancy in 2008, and since then he has been focusing on various topics as a specialization. In fact, I would say he is an all-rounder and very much needed in the currently going like IPL series. We also require such all-rounder. He is dealing with RERA, income tax, GST, even consumer protection, corporate law, and so on. He has authored a book, Gujarat RERA Manual, published by Taxman last year, and I was fortunate to be part of that function where the books were launched. He has also co-authored a book called E-Filing Guide on Form 3 and Form 5 under RERA. I think this was for Gujarat RERA, correct? And he has written many articles. I think nearly more than 60 articles on RERA, and he is also nominated member of the website and newsletter committee of ICA of Ahmedabad for many years, and also currently he is on the committee on economic and commercial law of the WRC of ICI, and he has been speaker on various forums, and whenever we call him, he always is ready to help us out. And so today we are fortunate to have CM Mahadev Birla on the Gujarat RERA certification and audit report. As compared to Maharashtra, Gujarat is more tough, and there are many penalty also. The reporting requirement also for a chartered accountant is very high. So we would like to now listen to Mahadev Birla. Yeah, over to Mahadev. You can share the PPT.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Ashwin Bhai, and thank you, the committee members, teams, everyone, for inviting me. First of all, Ashwinji, I would like to say that you were not fortunate. We were fortunate that you had in our program of book launching. Second, Gujarati are not tough. Gujarat RERA is tough. Gujarati are always flexible. They are not tough. So anyway, Gujarat RERA is little bit tough, not much more. So now we'll start the topic. Today is our topic. That is Form 3 and 5 under RERA. My screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
So, okay, so form is opening. PowerPoint is opening. So today's our topic is Form 3. I think the first of all, I would like to request everyone, make it more, it should be not single side, it should be both the way. We should communicate with each other, because everybody is expert over here. Very few members are there, but everybody is having a practical experience as well as theoretical, both the experience they are having. So we should have a good discussion instead of going this session from one side only. So this Gujarat, this RERA objective, we know that why this Form 3 is there, because and only one thing that promoter used to divert the money from one project to another project, and due to that there was a delay in completion of the project. So one of the important object which RERA says, and to make a transparency in the real estate project, this was this requirement of Form 3 has come, which requires that promoter can get the can withdraw the amount after certification from a CA, architect and engineer. So I'm not going into much detail about that object. Now what RERA section says, section 4 subsection 2 subsection L subsection D, that 70% money is to be deposited in a RERA bank account, and utilization of money for land cost and construction of the project. Withdrawal of the money in proportion to work completed. Withdrawal subject to certification by engineer, architect and CA. So this is the provision of the RERA. What Gujarat RERA rules 2017 says, Rule 5 of the Gujarat RERA states that withdrawal of money will be limited to the land cost, construction cost incurred and paid. So here important thing is, what is the major difference between the MahaRERA Form 3 and this Gujarat RERA Form 3 is that in Gujarat RERA, the authority allows that even cost is incurred, the promoter can withdraw the money from the separate bank account. Here Gujarat RERA what says, you incurred, but if you have not paid, you cannot withdraw. So incurred and paid, both are compulsory, both are the parts. So unless and until you pay, you cannot withdraw the money from the RERA bank account. Again, the withdraw in proportion to the completion of the project and subject to certification by engineer, architect and CA. This is the history of Form 3 under Gujarat RERA. First, circular number 1, 2017, dated 29 July 2017 came. Wide circular number 2, the Gujarat RERA has given clarification in respect of Form 3. Then after Regulation 3 of Gujarat RERA General Regulation 2017 talk about the format. So the format was prescribed through regulation. Certificate issued by engineer, architect, CA. Now the form were introduced to the circular only. These forms were amended by Gujarat RERA General Regulation dated January 2018. Now what changes were made? Details of the RERA bank account made compulsory. Further, again revision was made in Form 3, wide amendment in the regulation, and on 31st May 2019, the new regulation came where the new Form 3 was prescribed. Some key important points I will highlight. In the beginning, I'm not going in detail in Form 3. I will come later on into this. But before that, in this history, I would like to highlight some points. So to determine the fair market value of acquisition cost, this is in terms of land, the cost shall be index cost of acquisition. And indexation will be based on the year in which land is registered or the year in which commencement certificate is issued. Interest cost on fund borrowed for the purpose of acquiring land will be form part of the land cost. Clarification of the cost of construction for redevelopment project and project under rehabilitation scheme is also given under this circular. As per clause 7 of form 3, withdrawn means the amount withdrawn from the separate bank account as per the books of accounts and bank statement of that separate bank account. We'll come to later on this point. The promoter shall not deposit pass-through charges in separate bank account. What does it mean? That suppose the ODA, legal, maintenance charges, stamp duty collected from the customer. Sometimes customer directly pays, sometimes promoter collects. GST, earlier it was GST, so whatever the GST is collected, that cannot be again deposited into the this RERA bank account. So these are the some pass-through charges. Whatever the flat price, basic price is there, unit price is there, other than whatever the charges are collected from the customer, that shall not be deposited into the separate bank account. Indirect taxes collected, that I already mentioned. Income tax paid on real estate project will not be considered as a project cost. So what clarification is given? That whatever the income tax you are paying, that is not part of your project cost. The promoter cannot create lien on separate bank account. So there cannot be a lien on separate bank account. Whatever the fund is available in separate bank account, FD can be created. However, again, there cannot be a charge on the FD. Cancellation amount can be withdrawn from the separate bank account. So any customer who has cancelled their booking, that refund can be made from the separate bank account to the extent of 70%. Why? Because only 70% was there in a separate bank account. Now, the regulation which was amended on 31st May 2019. What is the difference between the earlier regulation and the regulation amended, which is applicable as on date also? The certificate, I'm reading the clause of earlier regulation. This is regulation 3, which talks about the certificate to be issued by the project architect, project engineer, chartered accountant in practice for withdrawal of money from the separate bank account maintained under section 4(2) LD shall be in form 1, 2, 3 respectively. The certificate required to be issued by the project architect, project engineer on completion of each building wing of the real estate project shall be in form 4. Now, what amendment is made? The certificate to be issued by the project architect, project engineer, chartered accountant in practice, appointed by the promoter. So what is made compulsory? First, you give the appointment letter, and that appointment should be for what? For project registration, alteration, extension, and quarterly project progress report. So there is a provision and section 11, as per section 11. So whenever we file a quarterly update before the RERA authority, as per section 11, we have to give the chartered accountant certificate also. So the promoter has to give one appointment letter. So earlier this was not there in a regulation. And for withdrawal of the money from the separate bank account maintained under section 4(2) LD shall be in form 1, 2, 3 respectively. The certificate required to be issued by project architect on completion of the building shall be in form 4. The form 3 shall be submitted electronic. So from 31st May 2019, by this regulation, CA has to give the form 3 online submission. Earlier it was that they get it print on their letterhead, they sign and they scan and they upload. Like engineer certificate, the same practice is there right now. However, in RERA 2.0, that is also not there. But in earlier this, whatever the RERA 1.0 is there is form 3 has to be submitted electronic. And the certifying professional has to affix his digital signature using utility on Gujarat RERA portal. So this is the major amendment brought by this regulation on 31st May 2019. 19. Apart from that, certain other things were also brought into this by this amendment. One, online submission with digital signature. Unit-wise reporting is also made compulsory. I will come to that also. Project loan and lending report. Improved RERA bank account detail. Auto fetching bank account detail for project alteration application. One-time option to enter estimate cost incurred and paid for redevelopment project. Firm registration number of CA firm and certificate of practice date, UDIN, disclosure of coherence among certificate 1, 2, 3, facility to submit specific note to certificate, AF execution date, redevelopment status. So these things are made compulsory. Now I will go to the form 3, which is prescribed under the RERA, and simultaneously we will discuss with the form 3 of the MahaRERA also. So this is the form 3. Is it visible to everyone? Hope so, whatever I am communicating.
Yes.
So first, you can see from this form 3, first part is land cost, which is also there in the form 3 prescribed by the MahaRERA also. Now, if you go to the another columns, there is a 2 columns for the amount, estimated amount, and second column is incurred and paid. So important part is here that first a promoter has to give the estimation of the project's cost. This estimation, then after whatever the amount paid, incurred and paid, in that proportion the amount can be withdrawn. So this is the difference between the MahaRERA and the Gujarat RERA form 3. Any question, any discussion on this part can we have right now? Because I think Ashwinji.
Yeah, so in Gujarat RERA, the promoter will have to pay first from his pocket and then he will be able to claim.
Correct. So first he has to pay. So ultimately the it make ensure that the money is utilized and the project is going on. Project construction is going on, the money is utilized for the project. So I would like to highlight one point, whether I'm wrong or correct or wrong, please clear that also. If I talk about the MahaRERA form 3, so when I incurred means the once a bill is received and it is accounted in the books of accounts, means promoter can withdraw that amount. So
Yes.
will it give the assurance that that money is utilized for the project and the project is completed? Sometime we understand that there may be some issues also in that respect.
So here we have two sides of coin. One is that once the cost is incurred or acknowledged, then it may happen that promoter may not pay to the creditor, and then it will affect the project work in the later stage. That is one possibility. Second is that promoter will pay it, right? But here the issue is like this: if suppose the contractor has started say slab number 1 and slab number 2, and he raises the bill of say 10 crore, and accordingly the demands are sent to the allotee. So the money comes from the allotee after completion of say slab 1 or slab 2. But then builder is not able to withdraw unless he pay first. So he need to keep some working capital. That is what Gujarat RERA is saying.
Any other views? I think there should be a participation from everyone, whatever there. I think Aditya is there, right?
Aditya is traveling, so he is not.
So anybody can would like to give their viewpoint. I think Lalit is also there, Uma is there, and
good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yes, Lalit Chatta is there.
Yeah, beauty about this certificate is, Gujarat RERA want only the builder who is financially capable. Basically, this certificate makes sure that you should have enough finance in your hand to start the project. So in initial stage, once you complete the, project 20-30%, and once you start receiving the advances from customer, the builder life will be easy. So at the end, it smoothen the project also. So in initial stage, few people have raised the objection that, it is on case basis. Actually, it should be on accrual basis. But looking at the sector, I think, it is in the favor of allotting.
And I think it
This is my
fulfills the object of the RERA also.
Yes, sir. Agree.
Right? So now we'll move further. So there first part is that land cost, and that comes acquisition cost of land or development right, lease premium, lease rate, interest cost incurred or payable. So first I would like to hear from the Maharashtra RERA what they understand from this point of view, because there's a similar point is there in the Mahar RERA also. So except Ashwin bhai, I would like to hear from other members also that what they understand and how we can have a discussion on this part. Otherwise क्या होगा, मैं यहाँ पे बोलूंगा सब सुन लेंगे कोई मजा नहीं आएगा. Correct Ashwin bhai?
Yes, the participation should be there.
Yes. So can anybody, otherwise me and Ashwin bhai will ask one by one.
Yes, we all chartered accountant have been signing the form 3, so we should know each and every line of the certificate.
So Ashwin ji, can you pick up anybody and ask the question to anybody? So at least it would be more interactive instead of going one side.
I think CA Tejas Shah. Can you share your views?
Sir, actually I am doing at Gujarat only, so I do not know about.
अच्छा.
सर कोई बात नहीं, आप गुजरात के बारे में जो समझते हैं वो बताइए सर. इसको तो अपने को इंटरेक्टिव बनाना है सेशन को. We all are experts, sir. So you please share your views on this part. And it is good that you are from Gujarat and you are participating in this program.
Sir, acquisition cost of land means land at which developer or promoter has purchased the land, or otherwise it is index cost, or at present it is prevailing as ASR value, means Jantri value or market value as given by the approved value. Whichever is beneficial to the developer, they can choose that acquisition cost of land.
So sir, now my question to you, how it can be benefited and how it can impact, because you have given your view. So you please explain that also. And if somebody is having another view, please, that also should be there.
Suppose the promoter has purchased the land before 5 years, so cost of acquisition is very low, and market value of the land is increased day by day. So he can adopt the market value of land as given by the approved valuer. So value of land will be higher than the acquisition cost of land. So it is beneficial to the promoter.
So you mean to say that either of any three value, the promoter can choose any value, correct?
Yes.
So Ashwin ji, what is your view in that part? That then we will go for the consequences also, if they choose any of three value.
Here we are allowing promoter to withdraw the profit on the land part also. See, when the flat is sold, it has two value. One is land value, one is construction value. Who is there?
तेजस भाई, आपके यहाँ से बैक में आवाज आ रहा है शायद, आप थोड़ा.
So when a flat is sold, it has two value. One is land value and one is the construction cost value. Say for example, in Ahmedabad, Navrangpura, the land value would be much higher as compared to Bhopal, but the construction cost would be almost similar. So here by replacing the fair value or market value.
Sir, fair value is replaced on the date of commencement of the project.
So also because see, there is an interest cost also, because suppose I have purchased the land 10 years back and I am allowed to claim interest on that land also, land cost also. So then it is a duplication, it's a doubling of the cost which I am getting.
Sir, if you are taking market value of land as per approved valuer, then it is not allowed to take interest cost of the land.
Is there any clarification on this? Because in Maharera, there is no such clarification.
Pardon, please, जयेश भाई क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? तेजस भाई?
मैं ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ कि अगर आप अप्रूव्ड मींस मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ लैंड एज पर अप्रूव्ड वैल्यू लेते हो तो आप इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट ऐड नहीं कर सकते.
Okay.
I
So,
don't think there is any.
ललित जी राय थत्ता, आपका क्या कहना है इस पे?
हाँ सर.
आपका क्या कहना है इस पे? तेजस भाई?
सर मार्केट वैल्यू अलाउड है सर. यू कैन
मार्केट वैल्यू अलाउड है. तेजस भाई
हाँ.
का ऐसा कहना है जब आपने मार्केट वैल्यू लिया है तो
हाँ.
आपको इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट जो है लैंड पे वो अलाउड नहीं होगा.
See, there is no clarity on the in Gujarat RERA whether it is taken or you can take or not. But as per my opinion, your market value is in normal cases is always higher. If you add up the cost and interest.
So what
But
would be
suppose-
the consequences if we take the market value, whichever the higher? What would be the consequences? Positive or negative?
The builder will be able to withdraw the higher amount in that case.
And apart from that, this is the positive things for the real estate developer, that he will be able to withdraw higher amount, because once the estimated cost is put higher, and obviously the incurred and paid cost will also be put higher because they cannot be lesser, right? So what would be the other consequences? Because the money would be utilized. So again, there may be chances that negative on the project, because the money first will be utilized and it may affect the project, that construction.
See, there is a rule that 70-30. 30% can be withdrawn by builder at any time, without any limit. So if you put a higher market value, your market value, if you use the market value, then ultimately builder will be able to get more money out of the project. So it may affect the project progress and have an impact on the financial side. So that is negative impact from the allotee perspective. From builder perspective, it is a positive impact. He will be able to take more money. The same fund can be utilized in starting of the next project also. So it depends on the builder. How it has been taken. Few builder even doesn't take the single money unless and until project receives some progress.
Another negative effect may be there, Lalitji. I think if there is some non-compliance is there from the promoter side and the penalty is imposed, then it may be on the basis of the estimated cost of the project. So if the land value is put higher, then obviously there the penalty value may be higher. Because of correct?
Yes, agree, sir. Agree.
So,
I got it.
what is your view in that part? Because then we will conclude this land part.
Madhavji,
Yes.
see, if I look at section 4.2 LD, it says that withdrawal should be in accordance with the cost of percentage completion of the project.
Correct.
So if I have incurred, say, land cost of 100 CR, say for example, index cost or fair value is 100 CR, and today I am entering into one agreement of say 5 crore with allotee and he is giving me 2 crore, then I am eligible to withdraw that 2 crore.
Correct.
Immediately, even if there is no excavation. So what is your view on this?
Sir, obviously it may have a negative impact because sir.
So then as a chartered accountant, we are not deviating from the section. We are going as per rule. Rule cannot go beyond the act.
So sir, we are not deviating, but ultimately we are analyzing that being a chartered accountant, what should advise our client also, and we can have our view only. Otherwise, so whatever the documents given for verification, on that basis only we can put the estimated cost and we can have a certification on the incurred and paid also. But meanwhile, we should put a note also before this form that this actual land transaction value as per so and so sale deed dated so and so, this is the value. However, as per this valuation given by the promoter, we have certified this cost and the incurred and paid is given this. So at least we can be on safer side.
I am not on the valuation part. I am on the part of cost of percentage completion. Now today the project is at 0%. Though my cost incurred and paid is say 100 CR.
So again, in the form 3, if you go for the Gujarat RERA, there is a last, it is column, whether the certificate is in coherence with the certificate given by the engineer or architect. So when the engineer and architect will give the certification, there would be no percentage completion work, because
Yes.
no excavation, nothing would be there.
Correct.
So architect and engineer will give the certificate and nothing is happened there, correct? So there would be 0% construction work. If I say because of the land value, my construction will show the 20%, 30%, 5%, 10%, right? So
Hmm.
if we see that there is no coherence with that form 2 and 3, sorry, form 1 and 2, then we should give the note for that also. That is the only thing. Otherwise, whatever there is, we can give. Lalitji and Tejas bhai, you can give your view also on that.
For coherence part you are talking about, sir.
I am talking about that whatever this Ashwin bhai is saying, that there is no actual physical construction is there, but we are mentioning in the column incurred and paid of the land cost, suppose say 5 CR, right?
Hmm.
So in
Correct.
form 3, it will show some percentage work is completed because this is on the basis of cost.
Yes.
Now, however, there is no physical construction work is happened.
Sir, form 3
We have to
form
give
3 is,
coherence detail.
form 3 is talking about, sir, financial progress.
No.
Uh,
Apart
the-
from that also, being a chartered accountant, when we are certifying, in the Gujarat RERA, they have given one option.
Yeah.
So that whether
So-
this project progress is in coherence with the form 1 and 2 given by the engineer and architect or not.
Yeah.
So in that
So-
we can put a note.
Yeah. See, there are two aspects. Form 3 is all about entire financial progress. It is talking about. Then the second part is coherence part, where you have to comment whether form 1, 2 he's having the same progress. Let's say suppose form 1 is saying progress of 20%, and form 2 is saying the progress of, let's say, 35%. So, you have to identify, whether, why there is a gap of 15%. The one reason maybe, your budgeted cost is lower in form 2. So that could be the one of the reason. So on case to case basis, you have to identify on a upper side of the form 3, which is showing the progress is a overall financial progress, total cost divided by the incurred. So that percentage may be, a higher side than the, form 1 or 2. 1 and 2 is talking about only the, construction part. Form 3 is saying it includes both construction plus your land part.
Okay. Now we'll move further.
Tejas,
Second part is there. Yeah, Ashwin.
Tejas, my question is like this. There is a 0%.
Yes.
I have incurred the cost of 100 CR based on fair value. I have
Okay.
received 2 crore from the allottee. So will I be able to withdraw 1.4 crore? And then as a chartered accountant, our certification as per section, whether it would be okay, because rules are saying something else, act is saying something else.
Sir,
So
right, but
this is my query.
right, but we
See,
have
in,
to
in Maharashtra also it has happened. The many projects are at excavation stage, and the promoter was able to withdraw just because that he has incurred land cost or development
Sir,
right cost, whatever.
Sir, land cost is a part of the project cost. So act is also saying that part
No.
of the project cost.
No,
So
act is saying the withdrawal should be in accordance with the cost of percentage completion of the project.
So this
So what do you mean by cost of percentage completion?
That is financial
that
progress.
is the crux.
I believe it is financial progress, sir. And the form design is such that it is talking about that only. Maybe your from logical angle, I understand what you are trying to say. Without cost
Okay,
progress,
Madhav, we can move further.
Yeah. So now the second part is the amount of premium payable to obtain development right, FSI, additional FSI, and fungible area, and any other incentive under DCR from the local authority or state government or statutory authority. So here we are talking about the floor space index, which is additional FSI generally promoter buy. Now the important part here is that we should always keep into mind that sometimes it's happened, I think in Ahmedabad it's happened that the payment of additional FSI is payable in installment also. I don't know about what's about the Maharashtra, it is there. So when we are giving this certification, sometime promoter put before us that the actual amount paid, the receipt of the actual amount paid. So we should ascertain from the promoter that what is the actual FSI payment, what is right now paid and what is outstanding, because there may be interest component also. So in the estimated column, we should take that amount which is actually payable for the FSI, and the incurred and paid we should mention whatever the amount paid as on date. So this point we should keep into the mind. Another point is the acquisition of the cost of TDR. Now generally everybody is aware that the promoter buys the TDR. Now important part here is that the TDR, how much TDR utilized for the current project for which we are giving the certification. So suppose I bought a TDR of rupees 50 CR. Now, but out of that TDR, I am utilizing only certain part of the TDR for the current project. Then I should allocate that cost in proportion to the my project area or whatever the proportion cost of the TDR. So that should only be mentioned here. This is my view. Now, fourth point is that here amount payable to state government, and that is related to stamp duty payable. Land premium payable. Again, this is the whatever the amount we are paid for the land premium under redevelopment rehabilitation scheme. So whenever the project is there under redevelopment and rehabilitation scheme, we have to put here yes. When we click on yes option, then automatically the detail below which is mentioned, it would come automatically. And then according to, we have to put estimated construction cost, rehabilitated cost, then after actual cost of construction for redevelopment, incurred, cost toward clearing of land. So these all costs are related to redevelopment of the project. So this is the first part as far as land cost is concerned. Anybody is there, any view, anyone to give additional point in that? Then we will move further. Nachiket ji is there, he's raising his hand. So what Nachiket ji you want to say?
Sir, actually my query was regarding to cost of land in a case where the joint development agreement was entered by a developer with the landowner, and landowner is having that property since ancestral property. In that case, should we take that valuer's report on record to make our basis, or we should take management representation from developer?
सर इसमें मेरा ऐसा व्यू पॉइंट है कि जब जॉइंट डेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट हुआ होगा तो उसमें कुछ ना कुछ कंसीडरेशन फिक्स हुआ होगा.
सर रेवेन्यू शेयरिंग में होता है ना कि सेल्स रेवेन्यू इतना इतना आएगा, उसमें इतना परसेंटेज लैंड ओनर को जाएगा और डेवलपर को इतना परसेंटेज जाएगा, तो उसमें लैंड का वैल्यूएशन असर्टेन नहीं करते वो लोग,
तो सर
उसको बेस बनाते.
अश्विन जी आपका क्या कहना है?
No, it is an very wide topic. I don't think today, because we need to have a separate certificate for landowner, then promoter, and then consolidated, because we have registered the project and not the developer promoter. So that itself will take, you can throw some light, but it will take more discussion.
ललित जी आपका क्या कहना है?
सर जहाँ रेवेन्यू शेयरिंग है ना सर, उसमें सिंपल है कि आप फॉर्म 3 में यू टेक द बजटेड सेल्स प्राइस ऑल्सो, बराबर है. सपोज आपका बजटेड रेवेन्यू शेयरिंग है, बजटेड सेल्स प्राइस 100 करोड़ है, आपका एग्रीमेंट है 30% विल गो टू द लैंड ओनर, बराबर है. तो 100 का 30%, तो 30 करोड़ विल बिकम योर बजटेड लैंड कॉस्ट. देन बेस्ड ऑन द एक्चुअल सेलिंग प्राइस इट में इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज. दिस इज हाउ वी टेक रजिस्ट्रेशन अंडर गुजरात रेरा.
And important
it is only way where it is the only way which is possible.
Important
इसके लिए फॉर्म 3 में नीचे जैसे नोट्स हम लोग डालते हैं और सम जो चीजें हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं है, जैसे पीछे एनेक्सर ए में हमको एक्सपेक्टेड सेलिंग प्राइस देना है, तो अब महाराष्ट्र का या जहां से मैं बिलोंग करता हूँ वहां पे प्रॉब्लम ये है कि रेडी रेकनर रेट बहुत कम है और एक्चुअल में मार्केट रेट बहुत ज्यादा है.
सर पहले मैं आपके लैंड कॉस्ट वाले पार्ट को कंप्लीट करता हूँ
जी.
लैंड कॉस्ट
उसमें है ना सर,
अगर ये बात करते हैं हम, तो ये एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट है, आप वर्ड को ध्यान रखिए. अगर हम अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड की बात भी करें तो व्हेनेवर वी गो देयर इज ए प्रोविजन फॉर द एस्टिमेशन. सो एस्टिमेशन इज ऑलवेज एस्टिमेशन.
तो भविष्य में वो चेंज भी होता है तो उससे एज अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट अपना कोई एज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं बनेगा.
नहीं बनेगा. वी आर टेकिंग दिस नोट फ्रॉम द प्रमोटर दैट ऑन दैट यस वी आर पुटिंग अ नोट. या ललित जी आप क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं?
Sir, उसमें है ना, when we sign the certificate, particularly, what I write, I will share, in note I put that, we have relied on promoter for estimated cost and estimated selling price given by the promoter. खत्म, अपना काम खत्म हो जाता है.
क्योंकि सर ये
And you are not responsible for estimated cost. Any budget is not your responsibility.
यूरिन के बाद में थोड़ा डर ज्यादा बढ़ गया है मेरे तो दिल में.
नहीं सर, नहीं. आप थोड़ा
ये मत, आप सर्टिफिकेट दीजिए और मैनेजमेंट से आप जब रिप्रेजेंटेशन लेटर लीजिए और उस रिप्रेजेंटेशन लेटर में आप एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट भी लीजिए, क्योंकि आप अगर एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट ले रहे हैं ना, यू आर नॉट अ डेवलपर, यू आर नॉट द बिजनेसमैन. सो व्हाटएवर द एस्टिमेशन गिवन बाय द प्रमोटर, you are giving the certification. Ultimately you are giving the certification for actual cost incurred and paid, which you are verifying from the books of accounts.
Right.
So when joint development agreement is there, suppose example, you and me are there into development agreement. You are a landowner, I am developing the project, right? So whatever the amount I will pay to you, that will show in the books, and that you will certify against the land cost incurred and paid, because there is a revenue agreement share. Correct? So should we move further?
Yes, yes.
So now we will talk about the development cost and cost of construction. So the first column comes estimated cost of the construction as certified by the engineer. So here in the column, first column, this cost will automatically fetch from the form 2, that is the engineer certificate. क्योंकि इंजीनियर अपने सर्टिफिकेट में एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट को सर्टिफाई करके देते हैं, वो कॉस्ट यहाँ आ जाएगी. Then in the column A2, in the second column you have to write whatever the amount actually paid.
और लगेगा MIDC में.
नचिकेत जी आप म्यूट करिए अपने आप को. तो यहाँ पे ये कॉलम में आपको अमाउंट आएगा. Now we'll talk about the third, on-site expenditure for development of the entire project. So according to my view, if we see the revised guidance note on accounting for the real estate transaction, then whatever the direct cost which is pertaining to the project, we can mention that amount here in the estimation column, and the balance whatever the work paying that is paid, we can put in the incurred and paid column. So this is the on-site development expenditure. There are a different view and different it is actually on the basis of the professional judgment. So I may have some another view and somebody is having another view, that it's depend on the project. But according to my view, whatever the direct cost which is attributable to the project, that should be there apart from the land and material cost. So Ashwin ji, आपका क्या कहना है इसमें? Ashwin ji is not there. Lalit ji and Nachiket bhai, what would you like to say?
Sir, I usually put up the amenities cost in this particular head.
No sir, that amenities cost already comes in the engineer certificate table 2, table B.
हाँ, तो उसको मैं यहाँ पे बाइफरकेट करता हूँ, कॉस्ट ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन को मैं ऊपर डालता हूँ.
सर नहीं, वो इंजीनियर कॉस्ट में आ जाता है. इंजीनियर सर्टिफिकेट में टेबल ए एंड टेबल बी आता है. टेबल ए में आता है पर्टिकुलर प्रोजेक्ट के लिए, सॉरी बिंग के लिए,
कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट कंस्ट्रक्शन जो है
कॉमन अम्यूनिटीज के लिए, तो वहां पे आपको वो ऑलरेडी ऊपर चला जाना चाहिए. ललित जी आपका क्या कहना है?
सर क्वेश्चन रिपीट कीजिए सर प्लीज.
सर यहाँ पे बात चल रही है एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन की.
यस सर, यस सर.
यहाँ पे हम बात करते हैं, ये जो इंजीनियर सर्टिफिकेट है, यहाँ पे इंजीनियर सर्टिफिकेट में 2 टेबल आती है.
यस सर, नीचे वाला कॉमन है.
नीचे वाला कॉमन है. नचिकेत जी का ऐसा कहना है कि ये जो टेबल बी है, इसको आप फॉर्म 3A सर्टिफिकेट में जो है ना, इस पार्ट में ले लेते हैं, A3 में.
नहीं.
Which is not correct according to my view.
Yes sir.
आपको जो कॉमन अम्यूनिटीज वाली कॉस्ट है वो यहाँ पे ही आएगी एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन में, क्योंकि आप देखेंगे ना सर, ये कॉलम जो आता है ना ए, वो टेबल ए और बी का आता है. सो इंजीनियर सर्टिफिकेट में सर आपको ये टेबल ए जाता है पर्टिकुलर विंग और ब्लॉक के लिए
जी.
ठीक है, तो अगर सपोज 3 ब्लॉक्स हैं तो 3 ब्लॉक का आपको अलग अलग टेबल देना पड़ेगा, टेबल ए
जी.
फिर आपको उसके बाद यहाँ इंटरनल एंड एक्सटर्नल डेवलपमेंट वर्क का आ जाता है
जी.
तो ये आ जाता है टेबल बी. इन दोनों का मिला के इंजीनियर सर्टिफिकेट बनता है, जो कि आपका यहाँ आता है फॉर्म 3 में. इस कॉलम में एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन यहाँ लिखा है सर, ए सर्टिफाइड बाय द इंजीनियर।
सर कॉलम ए लिखा है ना उसमें।
कॉलम ए का मतलब ये कॉलम ए, इस कॉलम ए में लिखना है।
अच्छा, क्योंकि सर जो ऑन साइट एक्सपेंडिचर में उन्होंने आगे जो रिमार्क डाला है,
सर मैं आपको बताता हूँ आगे जो
वाटर,
रिमार्क डाला है,
इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, सीवेज, ड्रेनेज, लेआउट, रोड, ये जो कॉमन एमिनिटीज वाले पार्ट आ गए। मेरा जो अजम्पशन या मेरा जो बेसिस है ये बाइफर्केशन का, ये आगे जो उन्होंने डिटेलिंग दिया है ये सब कॉमन
सर,
एमिनिटीज है।
सबसे पहले आप किसी भी कभी भी अगर कंफ्यूजन है ना, आप इंजीनियर को बिठा के पूछिए। तो आप जो सर्टिफिकेट में दे रहे हैं, इफ यू हैव नो क्लियरिटी और देयर इज अ डाउट इन योर इन माइंड, देन बेटर आस्क इंजीनियर। आपने ये जो कॉलम ए और बी में लिखा है वो कौन कौन से पार्ट की कॉस्ट लिखी है, सो ही विल एक्सप्लेन यू। In table 1 I have taken this one, table B I have taken this one. Now you ask what is the other cost?
जी,
right? Suppose example I will give you, the suppose there is one engineer and the site is going to run for a 3 year, right? So every month you have to pay the salary to engineer, and that engineer is particularly dedicated for the project only. So now there may be different view that the salary is indirect cost, but according to my view that engineer is for project only. So I can say this is my direct cost. So in this way, suppose I am paying the fees to architect, so that fees will come here.
Okay.
Are you getting my point, sir?
जी सर, जी सर.
So ये जो other cost है, which is not certified by the architect, engineer, architect की cost engineer नहीं certify कर सकता है. Engineer क्या certify करता है sir? Construction cost.
जी.
तो जो वो कंस्ट्रक्शन कोस्ट सर्टिफाई किया वो वहां जाएगा और यहाँ पे बाकी दूसरी कॉस्ट आता है.
तो इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट इफ वी स्पीक, इंजीनियर डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट सर्टिफाई करेगा और जो सारी इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट है जो प्रोजेक्ट को हम लोग अपोर्शन करते हैं वो ये ऑन साइट एक्सपेंडिचर में डालनी है.
Yes, we can say that also. In a simple language we can say also.
Okay, okay.
ललित जी, any different view? Your?
No sir, no sir.
अगर सर आपको बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए अगर और भी जाना हो ना सर, तो आप रिवाइज गाइडेंस नोट पढ़ लीजिए. ये जो सर्टिफिकेट बना है ना, ये पूरा उसी बेसिस पे बना है.
ओके.
अकाउंटिंग रिवाइज गाइडेंस नोट फॉर द रियल एस्टेट अकाउंटिंग का जो है ना सर, वो गाइडेंस नोट पढ़िए, उससे आपको क्लियरिटी आ जाएगा.
जी सर, श्योरली.
पेमेंट ऑफ टैक्सेस, सेस, फीस, ये ऑलरेडी हमने क्लियर किया है कि इनकम टैक्स कैन नॉट बी पेड फ्रॉम हियर. अब जीएसटी की बात करें तो अगर जीएसटी तो जो पे करते हैं, क्योंकि आप सबको पता है क्रेडिट नहीं मिलता है, अगर क्रेडिट नहीं मिल रहा है तो दैट वुड बी कॉस्ट ऑफ द मटेरियल एंड लेबर, सो दैट विल कम इनटू द इंजीनियर सर्टिफिकेट, राइट? इंटरेस्ट पेबल टू द फाइनेंशियल.
इसमें एक डाउट है मेरा. जैसे कि आपने बोला कि अभी पहले वो ऑप्शन था इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट लेने का, तब एम्बिग्यूटी थी. अब तो इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट नहीं मिलता है, तो मेरा जो भी जीएसटी के साथ कॉस्ट है दैट इज माय परचेस्ड कॉस्ट.
यस.
और इसमें बहुत सारी बार सर दो ऑप्शन होते हैं. बिल्डर एक तो इंक्लूसिव बेसिस पे एग्रीमेंट करता है या एक्सक्लूसिव बेसिस पे. इंक्लूसिव मीन्स कि आपको टोटल इतना कंसिडरेशन पे करना है, whatever the stamp duty, registration charges, GST or any other charges will be borne by builder. ये हो गया इंक्लूसिव बेसिस. और एक्सक्लूसिव बेसिस से वो हर चीज बायर से अलग से कलेक्ट करके गवर्नमेंट को पे करता है. तो इन दैट केस मैं अज्यूम करता हूँ कि अगर वो इंक्लूसिव बेसिस पे जा रहा है और अगर उसमें वो कुछ टैक्सेस का पेमेंट आउट ऑफ दैट कंसिडरेशन कर रहा है, जैसे जीएसटी इंक्लूसिव बेसिस पे उसने कलेक्ट किया और फिर वो उसने जेब से पे किया, तो वो यहाँ पे आएगा, ये मेरा अजम्पशन है.
सर नहीं आएगा, आप समझिए वो पॉइंट को, क्योंकि दो रास्ते हैं सर. वो प्रैक्टिकली इट कैन बी डिफरेंट, कैन बी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम एवरी प्रमोटर.
जी.
तो अगर मैं इंक्लूसिव की बात करता हूँ, तो सपोज देयर इज अ फ्लैट प्राइस ऑफ ₹50 lakhs, assuming, right? So that includes GST also.
बराबर.
So you can make a reverse calculation.
जी.
Right? So initially, if it is possible, you take a 2 separate check, if it is possible. Right? This approach which I am discussing here, that may be different and that may be differ from, and that may be every chartered accountant has their own view also. But what we can say, you can have a 2 checks. First, which is attributable to your basic price, and second is GST. Right? So
जी.
whatever the GST you are paying, that will go obviously into your current account. You will not require to pay from here. So it will not come here. Because what your cost is coming here, it is not the GST payable. आपका जो cost आ रहा है GST payable का, वो आपके separate बैंक अकाउंट से चला जाएगा
जी.
बट वो जो यहाँ पार्ट नहीं होगा कॉस्ट का, क्योंकि वो आपका पास थ्रू चार्जेज है विच यू आर कलेक्टिंग ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. आपका कॉस्ट क्या होता है? कॉस्ट आपने जो मटेरियल पे खरीदा है, जीएसटी आप पे कर रहे हैं, वो कॉस्ट नहीं है आपका.
ओके.
दैट इज नॉट द प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट.
ओके.
ये तो आप एक गवर्नमेंट के बिहाफ पे कुछ अमाउंट कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं और वो गवर्नमेंट को पे कर रहे हैं.
जी.
राइट. What
जी.
here we are talking about the GST. So अगर even difference भी रहता है, so that can be made from the current account. ललित जी, आपका क्या कहना है?
I think you are trying to say the cost GST expense which is borne by the builder. That is the question, sir. If I am
Which
correctly
question is
understood.
that I am collecting the amount inclusive all. So whatever the GST I am collecting, what should be the treatment here? So according to me, there cannot be any treatment here.
Yeah, in that case, if GST is charged separately and it is clarified, there is no question. But there are few cases where the price is inclusive. Builder is not charging separate GST.
He is talking
That
about
ex-
that only.
and that expense is borne by the builder. In that case, the treatment will different. As what he is trying. Sir, आपका question मेरे को थोड़ा मतलब मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है मैं कुछ गलत समझ रहा हूँ.
नहीं सर, आप बिल्कुल सही समझ रहे हैं कि अगर बिल्डर इंक्लूसिव बेसिस पे फ्लैट सेल करता है तो ये जो पर्टिकुलर कॉलम पर बोल रहे हैं टैक्सेस पेमेंट का, तो इट इज माय कॉस्ट एंड नॉट द बायर्स कॉस्ट टू पे द डिपार्टमेंटल टैक्सेस. तो मैं इसको यहाँ इंक्लूड करूंगा, ऐसा मेरा व्यू है.
सर देखो, जो if there are two views. आपको पहले से पता होना चाहिए कि भाई बिल्डर क्या करने वाला है. अगर आपको पता है तो यू शुड टेक इनटू द बजट. बट अगर लेटर स्टेज पे पता पड़ता है कि भाई इन फ्यू केसेस ही हैज टेकन इंक्लूसिव, तो आपको यहाँ टैक्सेस के सामने यू कैन अवेल द एक्सपेंडिचर द सेम ट्रीटमेंट व्हिच आई एम गिविंग इन द फॉर्म 3 राइट नाउ इन फ्यू केसेस.
एग्जैक्टली.
डिपेंड्स है क्या सिचुएशन क्या है सर.
एग्जैक्टली.
बट यू कैन टेक दैट एक्सपेंडिचर अगेंस्ट टैक्सेस.
राइट.
चलिए सर, आगे बढ़ते हैं. So this is the main crux of this form 3. Then obviously there is a total and something. I don't think anybody is there from Maharashtra, Maharashtra from.
Yes sir, I am from Maharera.
You are from Maharera only. मतलब
Right,
you are
sir.
doing a practice in Gujarat also?
No sir.
Okay. So anybody else is there? Because अभी ऐसा हो रहा है कि 3-4 जनों के बीच में कम्युनिकेशन हो रहा है. अश्विन जी.
सर इसमें जो एक फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन का जो जस्ट आपने स्क्रॉल किया, एक बार उसको वापस लेके आएंगे ऊपर. बस ये वाला पॉइंट, इंटरेस्ट पेएबल टू फाइनेंशियल
जो भी
इंस्टीट्यूशन.
लोन लिया ना प्रोजेक्ट पे लोन, उसकी इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट के बारे में बात करता है ये.
सर इसमें मेरे को एक सवाल ऐसा है, यूजुअली डेवलपर का अगर पार्टनरशिप फर्म है तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि करंट कैपिटल जो भी है पार्टनर्स का, उसके ऊपर भी पे इंटरेस्ट विद द व्यू ऑफ इनकम टैक्स. तो वो यहाँ पे डाल देना.
गुजरात रेरा ने क्लेरिफाई किया हुआ है कि इंटरेस्ट पेड टू द पार्टनर वुड नॉट बी फॉर्म पार्ट ऑफ दिस प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट.
ओके.
दिस इज द क्लेरिफिकेशन इज गिवन बाय द गुजरात रेरा.
तो फिर उसको कोई प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट में कंसीडर ही नहीं करना है. यू मीन टू से दिस?
Yes. That is not the borrowed capital.
ओके.
So we'll move further. अभी सर मैं ये इसमें अभी जो बात करते हैं, we'll go to again the PPT. That we have already understood. This is we have now. अब ये जो इन्होंने गुजरात रेरा में जो नया पॉइंट निकाला है, that is related to details of the project loan and lenders. इसमें क्या करने का है सर? अब आप देखेंगे यहाँ पे तो लेंडर्स का नाम लिखना पड़ेगा आपको. कितना लोन, अमाउंट ऑफ लोन टेकन फॉर प्रोजेक्ट एज पर एग्रीमेंट. तो आपको कितना लोन लिया है वो अमाउंट डालना है. सेकंड, लोन एग्रीमेंट आपको अपलोड करने का है. मॉर्गेज डीड आपको अपलोड करनी है. लोन डिस्पर्स रिसीव्ड, मतलब सपोज आपने 10 करोड़ का लोन लिया है और अगर 5 करोड़ डिस्पर्सल हुआ है तो आपको 5 करोड़ यहाँ पे डालना पड़ेगा. देन लोन रीपेड, यहाँ पे जितना लोन अमाउंट पे किया है, ओनली प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट वी हैव टू पुट हियर. and then balance of the loan outstanding. Now important point is there, total number of unit mortgage. अब सपोज टोटल ऑफ नंबर ऑफ यूनिट कितना मॉर्गेज किया है वो अपने को एक्सप्लेन करना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे कि कितने नंबर ऑफ यूनिट यहाँ पे मॉर्गेज किए गए। ऐसा हो सकता है कि ड्यूरिंग द प्रोजेक्ट कुछ यूनिट सोल्ड हो गया, उसके बाद प्रमोटर ने लोन लिया हो। सपोज एग्जांपल 100 यूनिट्स है, 20 आर सोल्ड आउट, देन 80 यूनिट्स आर ओनली मॉर्गेज, सो देन वी हैव टू पुट हियर 80 यूनिट्स, राइट। एंड इफ देयर इज अ इनकम्बरेंसेस रिपोर्टेड एज क्रिएटेड अगेंस्ट अ यूनिट इन फॉर्म 3 एनेक्सर, द डिटेल उसका भी अपने को यहाँ पे डिटेल देना पड़ेगा, राइट। Now we'll go for that. फॉर्म 3 में अब सबसे बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट जो क्वेश्चन आता है, मैट्रिक्स को हम आगे भी समझेंगे। सो एनी लोन अगेंस्ट विच इंटरेस्ट इज पेड एंड द सेम इज कंसिडर्ड एज अ पार्ट ऑफ द कॉस्ट इनकर्ड एंड पेड, द सेम नीड टू बी रिपोर्टेड इन फॉर्म 3। तो गुजरात रेरा ने एक गाइडेंस निकाला है विच इज डेटेड 9 जुलाई 2017। उन्होंने यहाँ पे क्लेरिफाई किया है कि जो लोन जिसका हमने इंटरेस्ट कैलकुलेशन एज ए पार्ट ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट को कंसीडर किया है वही यहाँ पे आपको शो करना है। ऑल सिक्योर्ड एंड अनसिक्योर्ड लोन टेकन स्पेसिफिकली फॉर प्रोजेक्ट बाय द प्रमोटर इज टू बी रिपोर्टेड। डिटेल्स ऑफ द लोन विच इज टेकन फॉर द प्रोजेक्ट बट डायरेक्ट एनकम्बरेंस इज नॉट क्रिएटेड ऑन यूनिट इज ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्ड टू बी रिपोर्टेड। सो बहुत सी बार आपने देखा होगा कि लोन टेकन बाय डिपॉजिट ऑफ टाइटल डीड होता है जिसमें मॉर्गेज क्रिएट नहीं होता है, but that reporting is to be done here. Interest paid on the partner capital is not part of the project cost and the same is not borrowed fund, so it will not form part of the project cost. अब ये इसकी रिपोर्टिंग मैट्रिक्स है। Mortgage created on project unit, all or partial, whether it would be reporting in form 3 or not, yes. अगर हम रिपोर्टिंग करेंगे तो क्या आएगा, डॉक्यूमेंट टू बी अपलोडेड इन फॉर्म 3, लोन एग्रीमेंट, सैंक्शन लेटर, मॉर्गेज डीड। डिस्क्लोजर के तौर पे हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, एट द टाइम ऑफ एएफएस ऑफ द यूनिट हमको ये बुक लिखना पड़ेगा अगर लोन लिया है तो। प्रोजेक्ट लैंड एंड यूनिट्स, अगर मॉर्गेज क्रिएट किया गया पे लैंड और यूनिट्स दोनों पे, तो दोनों पे वो रिपोर्टिंग होगा फॉर्म 3 में। क्या डॉक्यूमेंट अपलोड करने पड़ेंगे, लोन एग्रीमेंट एंड सैंक्शन लेटर, मॉर्गेज डीड। डिस्क्लोजर ऑफ रिलीज ऑफ मॉर्गेज फॉर यूनिट्स एट द टाइम ऑफ एएफएस ऑफ द यूनिट बुक्ड, फॉर लैंड बाय द नेम by the time of the completion of the project, or else an affidavit by the promoter that will continue to be liable for the project liability. अगर केवल लैंड ही मॉर्गेज किया गया है तो फॉर्म 3 में रिपोर्टिंग होगा फॉर लेंडर एंड लोन डिटेल्स। नंबर ऑफ यूनिट अगर मॉर्गेज की बात करेंगे तो वो 0 आएगा। अब ये एक बहुत डिबेटेबल पॉइंट है, क्योंकि अगर लैंड मॉर्गेज किया है, यूनिट स्पेसिफिकली मॉर्गेज नहीं किया है, बट कंस्ट्रक्शन तो केवल जमीन पे ही हुआ है, सो इट इज डिबेटेबल पॉइंट। लोन एग्रीमेंट सैंक्शन और जो डिस्क्लोजर का पार्ट है वो है फॉर लैंड by the time of the completion of the project, or else an affidavit by the promoter that he will continue to be liable. अगर कोई भी लोन नहीं लिया गया है तो कोई रिपोर्टिंग नहीं होगा, कोई भी मॉर्गेज नहीं किया है तो yes for the lender, and लोन डिटेल्स में जो एनकम्बरेंसेस की डिटेल है वो 0 रहेगी। अनसिक्योर्ड लोन की अगर हम बात करें तो अगर अनसिक्योर्ड लोन लिया है और उसका इंटरेस्ट अगर प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट में चार्ज किया गया है तो यहाँ पे डिटेल एक लिस्ट ऑफ अनसिक्योर्ड लोन आपको पीडीएफ फाइल बना के अटैच करनी पड़ेगी। सो दिस इज द रिपोर्टिंग मैट्रिक्स फॉर द फॉर्म 3। अदर रिलेवेंट पॉइंट्स रिलेटेड टू दिस गाइडेंस आई विल जस्ट रीड वन बाय वन। डिक्लेरेशन बाय द प्रमोटर फॉर लीगल टाइटल ऑफ लैंड, डिक्लेरेशन बाय द प्रमोटर दैट लैंड इज फ्री फ्रॉम एनकम्बरेंस, वो हम पहले ही देते हैं। लायबिलिटी ऑफ द प्रमोटर फॉर पेमेंट ऑफ ऑल आउटगोइंग चार्जेस इंक्लूडिंग मॉर्गेज लोन and interest on mortgage or other encumbrances, whether the physical possession of the real estate project is transferred to association or not. If any charges is created on partner apartment plot or building after the execution of agreement to sale, again section 11, I will not go into detail this, we know everyone. Now रेरा बैंक अकाउंट, अभी यहाँ पे रेरा बैंक अकाउंट की डिटेल हमको डालनी है। क्या डालना है, बैंक का नाम डालना है, अकाउंट नंबर, आईएफएससी कोड, ओपनिंग बैलेंस डेट। अभी ओपनिंग बैलेंस डेट कब आए, कौन सी आएगी, सपोज इफ वी आर गिविंग द फर्स्ट सर्टिफिकेट, देन जब हमने ये ओपन अकाउंट किया है वो अपन ओपनिंग बैलेंस पकड़ सकते हैं। सपोज इज देयर एनी गैप, तो वहां पे कितना डिपॉजिट हुआ उस ड्यूरिंग द पीरियड, वो हम यहाँ दे सकते हैं। अगर हम फर्स्ट क्वार्टर का अगर रिटर्न फाइल कर रहे हैं, सो ओपनिंग डेट जब लास्ट सर्टिफिकेट दिया था, लास्ट जो बैलेंस पकड़ा था, जिस दिन हम सर्टिफिकेट इश्यू कर रहे हैं वहां की डेट, उस ड्यूरेशन में कितना अमाउंट डिपॉजिट किया है, कितना अमाउंट विड्रॉ किया और कितना क्लोजिंग बैलेंस है, दैट वी शुड सर्टिफाइड, एंड व्हाट इज द क्लोजिंग बैलेंस डेट। अब यहाँ पे अगर हम बात करें तो अकाउंट नेम जो हमको रखना है वो क्या रहेगा, तो दिस इज द फर्म कंपनी नेम, सपोज देयर इज अ XYZ कंपनी, देन रेरा अकाउंट फॉर जो प्रोजेक्ट नाम है वो आएगा, एंड रेरा रिटेंशन अकाउंट। सो दिस वुड बी लाइक दिस। अभी ये मैंने कोहेरेंस की बात करी थी, तो दिस इज द कोहेरेंस सर्टिफिकेट। हमको यहाँ पे देना पड़ेगा इंफॉर्मेशन कि वेदर दिस प्रोजेक्ट और वेदर दिस सर्टिफिकेशन, the physical progress of the project as certified by the architect form 1 and engineer form 2 seems in coherence with the actual expenditure incurred and paid. So हमारे को यहाँ yes or no करना पड़ेगा। अगर no है, so we have to give our observation remarks over here. CA सर्टिफिकेट, CA का आपको इंफॉर्मेशन डालना पड़ेगा, ये पहले नहीं था बिकॉज ये ऑटोमेटिक फेच होता है। जब आप इंफॉर्मेशन वहां मेंबरशिप नंबर डालेंगे उससे पहले आपको रजिस्टर्ड करना पड़ता है। मेंबरशिप नंबर डालने के बाद ऑटोमेटिक डिटेल फेच हो जाती है, COP नंबर, UDI नंबर, CA डेजिग्नेशन, वेदर इट इज प्रोपराइटर, पार्टनर, दिस इंफॉर्मेशन वी हैव टू फिल अप। नाउ दिस इज द इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट विच इज नॉट देयर इन द महाराष्ट्र रेरा। ये पार्ट क्या है सर, यहाँ पे एक एनेक्सर सबमिट करना पड़ता है। अगर अपन महाराष्ट्र रेरा की बात करें तो वहां सोल्ड यूनिट, अनसोल्ड यूनिट, कौन सी यूनिट है, क्या एरिया है, उसका कितना प्राइस है और बैलेंस कितना रिसीवेबल है, ये अमाउंट चला जाता है। और अनसोल्ड इन्वेंट्री का एक अलग टेबल होता है जिसमें सेल्स प्राइस, एरिया और अमाउंट उसमें आ जाता है। यहाँ पे इन्होंने एक स्पेशल एक एनेक्सर बनाया है जो कि अपलोड होता है व्हेन वी आर फाइलिंग द फॉर्म 3 विच इज पार्ट ऑफ द फॉर्म 3। अब ये एनेक्सर क्या बोलता है सर, आपको क्या क्या इंफॉर्मेशन डालनी है यहाँ पे। सबसे पहले आपको क्या डालना है, ब्लॉक। सपोज ब्लॉक ए इज मेंशन, तो आप जब फॉर्म 1 भरते हैं आर्किटेक्ट सर्टिफिकेट का, तो वहां पे आपको पूछते हैं कि आपके इस प्रोजेक्ट में कितने ब्लॉक्स है। जो ब्लॉक्स आपने डाले वही यहाँ पे वापस फॉर्म 3 में आएंगे, ठीक है। तो ब्लॉक के हिसाब से आपको इंफॉर्मेशन डालनी है, ब्लॉक ABCD। अगर वहां पे आपने कोई ब्लॉक डाला A और यहाँ पे आपने एनेक्शन में ब्लॉक B लिख दिया तो एरर शो करेगा, ये अपलोड नहीं करेगा। फिर हम बात करते हैं इंडिविजुअल सेलेबल यूनिट। जो यूनिट है उसको कैसे आइडेंटिफाई किया गया है, एग्जाम्पल A101, B201, बंगलोज, डुप्लेक्स, A1 लाइक दिस। सो अगर हम नीचे अगर थर्ड कॉलम की बात करें, थर्ड रो की, एडिटेबल ओनली इन न्यू फॉर्म ए एंड द प्रोजेक्ट अल्टरेशन, ये एडिटेबल हो सकता है। मतलब अगर आपने आर्किटेक्ट का फॉर्म भरते समय सपोज किसी ब्लॉक का नाम ब्लॉक ए रख दिया है, तो यहाँ पे ब्लॉक ए आएगा, उस ब्लॉक ए को आप अल्टर कब कर पाएंगे, जब आप अल्टरेशन एप्लीकेशन कर रहे हैं प्रोजेक्ट की तब। सेम वे इन दिस इंडिविजुअल यूनिट नेम ऑल्सो। नाउ व्हाट इज द यूजेज ऑफ दिस यूनिट, वेदर इट इज रेजिडेंशियल, whether it is shop, whether it is office or other का मतलब प्लॉटिंग हो सकता है। अब इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट क्या है, यहाँ केस सेंसिटिव है ये, मतलब ये जो रेजिडेंशियल वर्ड लिखा है ना, यू हैव टू टाइप एज इट इज, यू कैन नॉट राइट इन अ कैपिटल लेटर और यू कैन नॉट राइट इन अ कंप्लीट स्मॉल लेटर। तो आपको जो यूजेज ऑफ द यूनिट है वो यहाँ बताना पड़ेगा, वेदर इट इज रेजिडेंशियल और नॉट। अगेन दैट इज एडिटेबल ओनली एट द टाइम ऑफ अल्टरेशन। कारपेट एरिया, कारपेट एरिया आपको पता है कि कारपेट एरिया जो गुजरात रेरा ने एक सर्कुलर ऑर्डर निकाला है उसमें स्पेसिफाई किया हुआ है कि जो प्लान अप्रूव होगा उसमें कारपेट एरिया स्पेसिफिकली मेंशन होगा। पहले कारपेट एरिया प्लान में मेंशन नहीं होता था, अभी स्पेसिफिकली एज पर द रेरा कारपेट एरिया इज टू बी मेंशन, एक्सक्लूसिव वरांडा एंड बालकनी एरिया इज टू बी मेंशन सेपरेटली। तो वो ये जो कारपेट एरिया हमको यहाँ पे मेंशन करना पड़ेगा। बालकनी एरिया अगेन इट इज टू बी मेंशन। नाउ वी आर when again we are this detail we are giving, we have to show the status whether this unit is booked or not. So in that case we have to show the status booked or unbooked and it is again case sensitive. तो हमको यहाँ पे booked or unbooked as it is डालना पड़ेगा। Amount of the individual unit, कितना sales consideration है वो we can die and that can be changed, है ना। तो ये जो बुकिंग स्टेटस है, सेल्स कंसिडरेशन है, सपोज मैंने आज यूनिट का कंसिडरेशन फिक्स किया 50 लाख, बाद में वो 45 हो गया, 55 हो गया, तो दैट वी कैन चेंज। अमाउंट रिसीव्ड, अगेन व्हाट इज द अमाउंट वी हैव रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम द कस्टमर, दैट कैन बी चेंज एनी टाइम। Now, this is the date of agreement of sale executed. So date of agreement to sale, अगर हम यहाँ पे जो यूनिट बुक हो गया है, then we have to put whether the agreement to sell is executed or not. The important part is that when we put the information regarding the amount received and we put the amount, what is the sales price. So suppose we put a 50 lakh rupees and we say we received a 5,10,000 rupees. And in the next column, we mention that the agreement to sell is not executed. But we don't fill up any date. Then what the consequences is that by this annexure, the RERA authorities automatically getting the information whether there is a non-compliance of section 13 or not. And by that, RERA authorities are taking a suo motu action, and they have taken in many cases, and they have imposed the penalty also. So whenever the chartered accountant, they do this, they fill up this information, they should ask from the promoter a copy of the agreement to sale. They should ensure that whether the agreement to sell is executed or not. Apart from that, it is always better and advisable that take this all information from the promoter on their letterhead or through email or whatever. So that should be authenticated from the promoter side. So there cannot be any, a mistake from our side, and we can cross verify this through the document provided by the promoter. Sorry. Then encumbrance status. So if the loan is taken, encumbrance is there, then we have to put here whether the encumbrance is there or not. And again, this is the case sensitive. We have to write like no encumbrance created, released. Name of the allotee in case of the booked unit. आपको यहाँ पे allotee का नाम लिखना पड़ेगा. Joint allotee है तो first allotee का नाम यहाँ पे लिखना पड़ेगा. फिर उसके KYC की डिटेल, आधार नंबर, पेन, ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस, क्या आप डॉक्यूमेंट जिसका KYC डॉक्यूमेंट, सपोज आप अपने पैन कार्ड की डिटेल डाल रहे हैं तो यू हैव टू राइट हियर पेन. देन इन द नेक्स्ट कॉलम यू हैव टू राइट द पेन नंबर. देन मोबाइल नंबर ऑफ द allotee, रीडेवलपमेंट, वेदर द प्रोजेक्ट इज इन द रीडेवलपमेंट और नॉट. अब आप देखिए यहाँ पे जो गुजरात रेरा और महारेरा में सबसे बड़ा डिफरेंस यहाँ है कि ये फॉर्म को बहुत डिटेल्ड किया गया है. अब चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट जो कि सर्टिफिकेट को वेरीफाई कर रहा है, क्या वो मोबाइल नंबर, पैन कार्ड, आधार कार्ड वेरीफाई करने का काम रखता है? ये नहीं है. ये बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन था इनिशियली that whether the chartered accountant will be able to verify the mobile number. Then it better that you take a representation letter from the promoter and you give a certification on that basis. जब आप ये annexure fill up करते हैं तो यहाँ पे एक समरी आ जाता है उसका. नंबर ऑफ यूनिट क्या बुक्ड हुआ है, टोटल कारपेट एरिया कितना है, कितना यूनिट है, कितना अमाउंट रिसीव किया है, कितना बैलेंस आपको आना बाकी है बुक्ड यूनिट से और अनबुक्ड यूनिट से. एंड दिस इज द सिस्टम जनरेटेड, राइट? It is not, by whenever we upload that detail through this annexure 1, this is the system generated detail. Ashwin ji, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
So, sir, what is your view? We were missing you.
नहीं, मेरा एक कॉल चल रहा था. हाँ, बोलिए.
Sir, what is your view on whatever we have discussed so far?
In fact, I was not there in between.
This is the detail annexure in the Gujarat RERA where we have to fill up the details of the allotee, naam, mobile number, PAN card, Aadhaar card number.
Now there are some issues over here whether Gujarat RERA is right in asking all this from a chartered accountant. That is first thing, because if I look at the section, it says whether there is a diversion of fund or whether the funds are used for the project or not. These two things are important for chartered accountant. Now, whether all this information a chartered accountant has to certify, and what would be the basis of this certification? Again, lot of responsibilities are casted on the Gujarat CA. But whether, first of all, they can do so, that is a big question.
Yeah, that is there. So this issue was raised earlier also, but now we are all used to about this and we are taking information from the promoter, and on the basis of that we are giving the certification. I think Aditya is also there. Aditya, what is your view?
Yes. Basically what I feel is they are asking too many details, and they are asking, especially I'm shocked that 10-digit mobile number और ये सारे जो details पूछ रहे हैं वो बहुत ज्यादा हो गया एक सीए के लिए टू सर्टिफाई ऑल दिस एंड we need to also see the authentication of the data we are giving, because why they are tracing according to me is on a later date if they want to contact the customers directly, the RERA authority, so they need I mean to say confirmed data which a CA can give. That is the reason they are asking CA all these details. But ultimately on the cost of the project part, they have still not done many changes which MahaRERA have incorporated. For example, like estimated cost of the engineer is now been here rectified. So they have asked for comparison between actual cost certified by engineer and actual cost certified by CA. So that is a major change, because earlier only estimated and actual cost were compared, which somewhere didn't give a right picture, because estimated cost will always be higher. But now the position is changed there. So here still the position remains the same in case of land cost, in case of the estimated cost, and even the cost of the machinery, higher cost of the machinery, or those costs is not on the absorption cost basis. But here they have rectified this, but they have included this so many annexures and details all, and we have to submit it with a digital signature also. So that becomes many records are not even editable. So there are chances of errors, and how they will take that in future. So we need to be more precaution, have a cautious approach towards signing this, according to me, as what you have shown. And the most important thing is coherence between forms. That is the most important point for me, because here in Maharashtra, I haven't seen any buddy able to even relate to these forms, because in most of the case, that is a fact of the data, that engineers are not interested into maintaining the records, not even architect. So what happens is ultimately CAs are dealing with the books of account, but there they are only bothered about technical specification and physical verification. So in that case, how a CA can do a coherence with these forms? I really want to know whether you have come across that a CA has mentioned any points in relation to this. If they have selected that no, it is not proper, and what exactly any points important if you can highlight for us.
So far, I have not come across. Anyway, another important is there also in the form 5, whether we will be able to take up today or not, I don't know. But this form 3, which is given, in CA Institute, there is a concept of peer review audit.
Correct.
Right? So in the form 5, the chartered accountant who is giving this form 5, they has to certify that the form 3 is issued correctly or not by the chartered accountant. So that is their concept of the form 5 in Gujarat RERA also. But this annexure, now one important part is that by this annexure, they are getting the information regarding the non-compliance of section 30, that whether the agreement to sell is executed or not, and the suo motu action is taken by the RERA authority, and the penalty imposed on various promoters. That is the very important thing, no doubt. We cannot go into this PAN card, Aadhaar card and everything. But this, as far as RERA is concerned, this is the very important thing. Yes, Ashwin ji, आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
Mahadev, if we look at section 4.2 LD, there are two provisions which affects the chartered accountant. One is provided that amount from separate account shall be withdrawn by the promoter after it is certified by engineer, architect, and a CA, that the withdrawal is in proportion to the percentage completion. So this is first provision. And second is promoter shall get his account audited to ensure that the funds are used for the project only. Now to bring this objective, whether all these things are necessary, like 10% execution of agreement, why a chartered accountant is called upon to comment on that also?
Correct.
Why it should happen?
But see, initially lot of issue were raised. I think Lalit ji there, Lalit Rai Thatta must be aware about that. Lot of the queries and issue were raised.
Yes, sir.
So Lalit ji, can you highlight on that when this new form came? What grievances were there from chartered accountant side?
The first grievance was, for the KYC part, how we will verify the PAN number and telephone number. That was the main query. Then the second is the encumbrance status. If you look at the encumbrance status, there are 3 points which is available for reporting: no encumbrance, release or created. As a chartered accountant, it is very difficult for us to comment on the encumbrance part. because in few cases it is happening that the one agreement to sell is done in favor of one person, second is done in favor of second person. So as a CA, we may not know all these things, and we are supposed to not go into those details. It is advocate job. So initial stage, there were a lot of representation which was done. So the answer which we were getting as based on the best information you have to submit. So now, whatever Form 3 I am certifying, I just put one line, data given in Form 3 annexure, we have relied fully on client and no checking has been done by us. That is a standard line I am putting in every form. And, that is a requirement of time also. And they are accepting those form also, and they also understand. So the purpose of this Form 3 annexure is to make sure that, there are no double booking, and if any dispute arise in the future, RERA can have look into the Form 3 annexure part also.
But
If-
Lalitji, in one of the matter,
Mm.
RERA authority were a little bit, I should not say that they have taken action, but
Mm.
they were very strict on one of the CA. And you must be aware that they have mentioned that in the order also, that CA has not verified some information, because the amount taken from the person was shown under the unsecured loan, and later on some documents were produced before the RERA authority that the promoter has given they have allotted the unit to. So it was held that why chartered accountant could not verify that. So
Our
sometime-
chartered accountant will come to know.
that is the question that we know, Ashwinji, but I'm just giving the example. This is the long back story. I think this is the three,
Yeah,
four.
yeah. I know that order, sir.
Yeah.
But as far as I remember, in that order, the advance was taken, the advance was shown into the books of account, and the chartered accountant with malified intention, it doesn't show that advances. So in Form 3, what I do normally, I reconcile the total advance reported in Form 3 with books of account. So anyway, I put a note, and I'm do the 100% checking. Because encumbrance part, I have come across a situation where agreement to sell is done in favor of 2% with not malified intention, but the one of the cancellation is pending and still it is sold. So later on, people rectified it, and they make sure that ultimately one person is the owner.
So
So that
ultimately,
he has done with malified intention only. I have some information, but I don't know whether it is correct or not. You are right.
ultimately,
Anyway.
it is a difficult task for a chartered accountant.
Agree, sir. Agree. Very
But-
difficult task, and we should put not. It is not our responsibility.
So that only we can do, Ashwinji. What is your view? Anyway, so we'll move forward.
Are we supposed to take the search report? These are all difficulties.
Yeah, it is difficult. It is difficult. It is
And
very.
I think except Gujarat, across India, such kind of reports are not taken from a
No,
chartered
no, no.
accountant,
No,
except
it would-
Gujarat.
What is the unique thing is that because of this certificate, when we visit the Gujarat RERA website and we see the project progress report of the project, and we see that the suppose A block is there, and we click on the progress of chart of the block A, we can see that how many units are booked, how many units are unsold, and even whatever the name we are giving now. So you can see the first and last character of the name also. Suppose Mahadev Birla is there, then you will be able to see MA and then A of Birla. So by that I can come to know, even the full name is not appearing there, but at least we can come to know that the unit is booked or not, and what is the name. So this is also the unique things which Gujarat RERA has done. Have you seen, Ashwinji, this actual images any time?
No, I have not.
So I'll show you that, because
What we will do, Mahadev, if we have some Gujarat client,
Yeah.
we will do all project registration and everything. Support, sir. For certification, we will have networking with Gujarat CA.
Yeah. No, I'll show you because
Can you repeat, sir?
Anyway, Ashwinji, I don't think we will be able to take this form 5 in detail.
Okay, no
Because
issue, no issue.
We have a very, little bit time. So instead of that, better we discuss on this form 3 part. So
Yes,
I'll
yes.
show you, suppose this is the project, right? And suppose this is the block A and block B. So if I click on block B, you will see the details here, right? So the green color shows that total unit, and this other color yellow, or what I should say, this show the number of unit booked. So this is the green unbooked. If I click on this, you will say this, the first two name and last name. So HA and then R. So this is coming by way of this annexure. तो अगर मुझे किसी प्रोजेक्ट में अगर कोई यूनिट लेना है और मुझे देखना है कितना यूनिट बुक हो गया नहीं हो गया, तो आई कैन फाइंड आउट. बट अगेन द पॉइंट इज दैट दिस इंफॉर्मेशन इज अपडेटेड टिल 5th March 2022 ओनली. उसके बाद ये इंफॉर्मेशन अपडेट नहीं हुआ है. इसका रीजन कुछ भी हो सकता है. प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट हो गया होगा, उसका रिटर्न का ड्यू डेट नहीं आया होगा, या लास्ट ये हो सकता है कि प्रोमोटर इज नॉट कंप्लाइंग विद द प्रोविजन ऑफ द रेरा. अगर आप इस प्रोजेक्ट में जैसे देखने जाएं, तो अब यहाँ पे ये जो एनेक्सर है उसकी वजह से ये पूरा डिटेल आता है. यहाँ पे कितना एरिया है, क्या यूजेज है, एंड व्हाट इज द स्टेटस, हियर वी कैन सी. तो ये सारी चीजें ब्लॉक बी, ब्लॉक ए, ये सारी चीजें आती है. अब यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट क्या है, देखिए अगर आप देखेंगे तो क्वार्टर एंड कंप्लायंस हो गया है. मतलब ये प्रोजेक्ट पूरा कंप्लीट हो गया है, सोसाइटी हैंड ओवर हो गई है, बीयू परमिशन चला गया है. ये सारी कंप्लायंस भी प्रमोटर को प्रोजेक्ट एंड के टाइम करना पड़ता है. So this is the unique things which I think Gujarat RERA has done. I don't know about Maharashtra RERA. So I
No,
think
but we really don't have that kind of thing over here,
yeah.
Maharashtra. Like unit wise, we don't have right now. I mean, we are submitting, but it is not available for everybody to see.
So Ashwin ji can make a representation before MahaRERA.
No, now they
Please
have,
don't.
no, now they have introduced one circular whereby promoter has to give the details of sold, unsold unit with registered, encumbered, reserved, and all these things. But that is not to be certified by CE.
But this information is available on the website.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can
public.
see.
It is under public login. It is available, and in that it is written that this should be reconciled with Form 3. So whenever then chartered accountant is issuing Form 3, he should take cognizance of this sold, unsold inventory.
Right. So now we will go for some practical aspects which is given here, that no changes are allowed in Form 3 after it is e-signed and submitted. लेकिन अब जब रेरा रजिस्ट्रेशन और अल्टरेशन की एप्लीकेशन करते हैं तो हम उसको प्रीव्यू कर सकते हैं. जैसे जीएसटी में GSTR1 को प्रीव्यू करते हैं, वैसे Form 3 को हम प्रीव्यू करके देख सकते हैं. नो हार्ड कॉपी सबमिशन और रिवाइज submission representation would be acceptable in case of the data mismatch. In case of the project registration, alteration, extension application, facility to preview Form 3 is provided before Form 3 is e-signed. For quarterly return, facility of preview is not available. AFS reporting, मतलब agreement for sale reporting, is to be executed before receiving more than 10% of unit consideration amount. Otherwise, it shall be considered as a flagging to the authority. In booking status, facility to change the status unbooked is available in case of reporting of cancellation. In case of error and in UDIN, then it is advisable to generate new UDIN and submit the Form 3. In case wrong UDIN is mentioned in Form 3 and the same is submitted, then information by email should be given to RERA. In case of joint allotment, only first allotee name to be added in allotee column. In case of the registered project where annexure is previously submitted, then we have to export the previous data and information related to status, unit amount, received amount, date of agreement to sale, encumbrance status, allotee name, type of KYC, KYC unique ID, and mobile number. After export of annexure, if any change in particular of the block type, flat, bungalows, office usage, carpet area of exclusive balcony is made, then the same will be give error. तो हम ये सारी चीजें चेंज नहीं कर पाएंगे. No alteration in column, block type, flat, bungalow, office usage, carpet area. Any unit under redevelopment would always have a booking status as a booked and redevelopment status as a yes. No other combination would be allowed in case of redevelopment. For redevelopment project unit, the booking status should always be booked and consideration amount and received amount will be 0. For booked unit, received amount, encumbrance status, allottee name, type of KYC unique ID, mobile number of allottee is mandatory. So this is the related to form 3. Ashwin ji.
So one question, what will happen in case of cancellation of unit?
So you can show that cancellation if it's there, you have not issued the check and you have given the new amount. I think you can take a new unit and you can put in the note also that we have received the cancellation form, and by putting a note you can do whatever, you know.
But the book unit, how it will get deleted, because in that graph where we can see sold and unsold, we can get the name. So how to then how it will get deleted?
जब आप नया फॉर्म 3 अपलोड करेंगे ना तब चेंज होगा. सपोज आपने 7 जुलाई को अगर फॉर्म भरा है और आपका यूनिट कैंसिलेशन हुआ अगस्त में, तो जब आपकी नेक्स्ट ड्यू डेट आएगी ना, जब आप फॉर्म 3 भरोगे तब वो चेंज दिखेगा. Within that 3 period it will not show. It is not online mechanism. जब आप नया फॉर्म 3 भरोगे तब वो अपडेशन दिखेगा. Lalit ji is raising the hand. Yes, Lalit ji.
Hello, sir. I have a 2 query regarding the loans. First one is that what if a promoter have taken the loan on the basis of his personal capacity by mortgaging his personal properties, and that loan is taken for a project itself. So do we have to report that also?
सर वो प्रोजेक्ट का जो पर्सनल कैपेसिटी में जो पर्सनल लोन लिया है पर्सनल एसेट्स को मॉर्गेज करके, वो पैसा जो प्रोजेक्ट जो कंपनी एग्जीक्यूट कर रही है, जो पार्टनरशिप फर्म है या प्रोप्राइटरशिप फर्म है, उसमें वो एज ए कैपिटल डाल रहे होंगे. सो उसका कहीं रिपोर्टिंग नहीं होगा. दिस इज द माय पर्सनल व्यू. अगर पार्टनरशिप फर्म की बात करते हैं, मैं पार्टनर हूं और आप पार्टनर है, मैंने अपनी इंडिविजुअल कैपेसिटी में लोन लेके अगर पार्टनरशिप फर्म में डाला है, सो दिस इज माय कैपिटल कंट्रीब्यूशन. Or I am giving the loan to firm, but that is not because whatever the contribution I am making, right? And in case of company also the same thing is that unsecured loan अगर आपने दिया है, कंपनी का डायरेक्टर unsecured लोन दे सकता है, शेयर होल्डर है. अगर वो लोन दिया है, वो unsecured लोन दिखाया है, वो प्रोजेक्ट के लिए यूज हुआ है, तो आपको उसकी डिटेल डालनी पड़ेगी और इसका इंटरेस्ट आप कैपिटलाइज कर सकते हैं प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट में.
Thank you, sir. And one more thing. And if during the registration, this is the second query, during the registration there was no loan was taken, and later on when the project got registered, promoter got the loan and he mortgaged some all the units of projects. Now in that case, while filing its QPR, we have to update all the things, or we first of all we have to go for the alteration?
इस अल्टरेशन की जरूरत नहीं है आपको. आप 2 काम कर सकते हैं. सबसे पहला इंपॉर्टेंट काम, जिस दिन आप लोन ले रहे हैं उस दिन आपका लोन आने के बाद आप एक तो एनकम्बरेंस सर्टिफिकेट आप रिवाइज रेरा में सबमिट कर सकते हैं और रेरा में आप इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं तो वी हैव टेकन अ लोन, प्लीज टेक इनटू कंसीडरेशन दैट थिंग. सेकंड, जब आप क्वार्टरली अपडेट कर रहे हैं उस समय ये इंफॉर्मेशन अपडेट कर दीजिए. आदित्य, आपका क्या कहना है? और ललित जी, राय दत्ता, आपका क्या कहना है?
हाँ सर, correct view, sir. And you know, encumbrance submission, once you mortgage the project, it is compulsory. You have to report to the RERA authority by paying 5,000 rupees, and then you can accordingly incorporate the same into your Form 3 annexure also.
Sir, sorry, actually there was some network issue.
सर, आप कोई भी चेंज रिक्वेस्ट डालते हैं ना रेरा में, तो उसको आपको 5,000 रुपए देना पड़ता है रेरा को. वो चेंज रिक्वेस्ट डाल के आप अपने रिकॉर्ड्स वहां पे अपडेट करवा सकते हैं. और उसके बाद जब आप फॉर्म 3 फाइल करेंगे तो फॉर्म 3 में आप ये इन्फॉर्मेशन डाल सकते हैं कि लोन ले लिया है. क्योंकि आप जब फॉर्म 3 सबमिट करेंगे तो आपको वहां पे लोन रिलेटेड डिटेल भी डालना है, मिक्सचर में भी आपको डालना है कि वो एनकम्बरेंसेस क्रिएट कर दिया गया है.
श्योर। तो सर मतलब पहले मुझे 5,000 पे करके एनकम्बरेंस अपडेट करवाना पड़ेगा एंड लेटर ऑन जब मैं QPR फाइल करूंगा और वहां पर मेरे को लोन्स की डिटेल्स अकॉर्डिंगली जो मुझे चेंज करनी रहेगी, एनकम्बरेंस क्रिएटेड है एंड ऑल जो भी डिटेल्स देने होते मॉर्गेज डेट्स, वो मैं उस तरीके से दे सकता हूँ।
करेक्ट।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
एनी अनदर क्वेश्चन? Ashwin ji, Aditya ji, what should we do now? It is already 12:45.
How many slides are pending for Form 3?
Form 3 is over.
Okay. You can just spare some 10 minutes in general for Form 5, not in specific.
ठीक है, तो मैं 10 मिनट्स में इसको कंक्लूड करने की कोशिश
Yeah,
करता हूँ
yeah.
फॉर्म 5 को।
You can take 15 minutes, Madhav.
Yes, yes, definitely. तो सर मेरा सबसे बड़ा क्वेश्चन फॉर्म 5 को लेकर ये आता है, विच इज अगेन दिस इज माय पर्सनल व्यू। फॉर्म 5 के लिए हमेशा हम बात करते हैं ऑडिट ऑडिट ऑडिट, बट माय व्यू इज दिस इज नॉट एन ऑडिट, दिस इज द सर्टिफिकेशन, which I can give you some example from this form 5 of which is prescribed by the Gujarat RERA. So अगर आप यहाँ पे देखेंगे तो it is mentioned after third para, period under certificate from so and so, and my personal view is that this form 5 is not an audit report, this form 5 is a certification which says the annual statement of accounts. This is my personal view. So again we will not discuss this in detail later on. हम अगर फॉर्म 5 की बात करें तो फॉर्म 5 में जो गुजरात रेरा ने प्रिस्क्राइब किया है, टोटल 12 नंबर ऑफ पॉइंट्स और क्वेश्चनरीज है, वो आपको फिलअप करनी पड़ती है। अगर हम रेरा लॉ की बात करते हैं तो सेक्शन 4(2) LD में which says that a chartered accountant, that the promoter shall get his accounts audited within 6 months after the end of the financial year by a chartered accountant in practice, and shall produce a statement of accounts duly certified and signed by such chartered accountant, and it shall be verified during that audit that amounts collected for a particular project have been utilized for the project, and withdrawal has been in compliance with the proportion of the percentage of the completion of the project. So as per section 4(2) LD, there are only two requirements. तो प्रोजेक्ट का जो पैसा है वो प्रोजेक्ट के लिए यूटिलाइज हुआ है और अमाउंट जो विड्रॉल हुआ है वो प्रोपोर्शनेट में हुआ है। सो दिस इज द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द फॉर्म 5 एज पर द रेरा। नाउ व्हाट इज द गुजरात रेरा हैज प्रिस्क्राइब्ड द फॉर्म 5 which talks about 12 points. First is related to bank account, whether separate RERA bank account has been opened as envisaged in the Gujarat RERA bank direction. Yes, तो आपको yes करना है। No है तो आपको whether the existing operational bank account was made known at the time of application, तो आपको वहां पे आगे बढ़ के ये करना है। सेकंड क्वेश्चन जो है वो क्वेश्चन है डिटेल्स ऑफ द रेरा बैंक अकाउंट। तो जितने भी रेरा बैंक अकाउंट आपने ओपन किए हैं वो सारी रेरा बैंक अकाउंट की डिटेल आपको डालनी है। सपोज आपने कोई भी रेरा बैंक अकाउंट चेंज किया है ड्यूरिंग द प्रोजेक्ट साइकिल, सो दैट इंफॉर्मेशन वी हैव टू पुट आउट हियर। थर्ड पॉइंट इज दैट in case of the change in RERA bank account as indicated above, whether due approval of following prescribed documentation was taken, आपने रेरा बैंक अकाउंट चेंज करने के पहले जो प्रोसीजर है जो कि रेरा बैंक अकाउंट डायरेक्शन में दिया गया है, whether that process is followed or not, you have to report it here. मतलब चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट को सर्टिफाइड करना है। पॉइंट नंबर 4 is that whether any of the form 3 issued during the certificate period mandated deposit of the 100% of the money collected from the booking of the project units ऐसा कोई सर्टिफिकेट है जिसमें ऐसा आया हो कि आपको 70% के बजाय आपको 100% अमाउंट रेरा बैंक अकाउंट में डिपॉजिट कराना पड़ेगा? ऐसा कोई सर्टिफिकेट है तो उस सर्टिफिकेट की डिटेल, सर्टिफाइड प्रोफेशनल का नाम और डेट ऑफ सर्टिफिकेट आपको यहाँ पे पॉइंट नंबर 4 में मेंशन करना है। ये सिचुएशन कब आती है? जब आपका जो प्रोजेक्ट रिसीवेबल है वो कम है, प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट ज्यादा आता है, तब आपको 100% डिपॉजिट कराना पड़ता है रेरा बैंक अकाउंट में। अदरवाइज व्हाट इज द प्रोविजन? दैट 70%, एंड दिस कैलकुलेशन इज ऑटोमेटिकली डन इन द फॉर्म 3। तो वहां फॉर्म 3 से ऑटोमेटिक कैलकुलेशन आ जाता है और वो रिपोर्टिंग आपको करना पड़ता है। मतलब व्हेन यू आर सर्टिफाइंग दिस फॉर्म 5, you have to check all the form 3 issued by the chartered accountant, because the person, the chartered accountant who is certifying the form 3 and form 5 needs to be different. The same person cannot certify both the form. पांचवा जो पॉइंट है, whether the required proportion of the money collected from the allotee of the project units as indicated in form 3 deposited into RERA bank account or not. जो मनी पैसा लिया है वो रेरा बैंक अकाउंट में गया है या नहीं गया है? अगर गया है तो उसका रिपोर्टिंग, अगर नहीं गया है तो जो अमाउंट डिपॉजिट नहीं किया है और कौन से पीरियड के लिए नहीं किया गया है वो आपको फॉर्म 5 में मेंशन करना है। 6, वेदर द प्रोजेक्ट रजिस्ट्रेशन इज ए न्यू और ऑनगोइंग, वो आपको यहाँ सर्टिफाई करना है। इन केस ऑफ न्यू, वेदर देयर वाज एनी बुकिंग टेकन प्रायर टू रजिस्ट्रेशन, अगर है यस है तो आपको यहाँ पे यस, नो है तो नो। अगर यस है तो आपने रेरा रजिस्ट्रेशन से पहले जो भी बुकिंग डिटेल लिया है वो सब आपको इंफॉर्मेशन यहाँ पे प्रोवाइड करके सर्टिफाई करना पड़ेगा। पॉइंट नंबर 7, whether all amounts withdrawn from the RERA bank account were within the withdrawal limit as certified under the relevant form 3 issued during the period or not. तो जो अमाउंट विड्रॉ किया है वो विद इन द लिमिट पीरियड था, नहीं था, उसका आपको यहाँ पे सर्टिफिकेशन देना है, रिपोर्टिंग करना है। पॉइंट नंबर 8, whether any fixed deposit was created out of the funds deposited in RERA bank account, yes or no. You have to choose. If yes, whether the FD is created with the same RERA bank account, same branch, in compliance with the para 5 of the Gujarat RERA Bank direction, you have to report that. If yes to 8 above, whether any lien is created on such FD or not, तो वो भी आपको यहाँ पे रिपोर्ट करना है। Point 9, whether there has been any instances of receipt of consideration in excess of 10% of the apartment value without entering into registered agreement to sell, वो भी आपको यहाँ पे रिपोर्ट करना है। तो ये फॉर्म 3 में ऑलरेडी रिपोर्ट हो गया है और फॉर्म 5 में अलग से रिपोर्ट जाएगा कि आपने सेक्शन 3 का कहां पे नॉन कंप्लायंस किया गया है। पॉइंट नंबर 10, whether the project is executed by availing any loan borrowing, yes then yes, अगर yes है तो आपको यहाँ पे पूरा लोन डिटेल वापस से डालना है। Whether the financial encumbrance is reported to Gujarat RERA, अगर फाइनेंशियल एनकम्ब्रेंसेज आपने रिपोर्ट नहीं किया है तो यहाँ पे नो आएगा। इफ यस है तो जो भी उसका, इफ यस टू 10 अबाउ, वेदर प्रमोटर हैज मॉर्गेज और क्रिएटेड ए चार्ज ऑन एनी बुक यूनिट, मतलब यूनिट बेचने के बाद आपने कहीं उस पर चार्ज तो क्रिएट नहीं कर दिया, सेक्शन 11(4)(h) का वायलेशन तो नहीं हुआ है, सो दैट वी हैव टू पुट हियर। पॉइंट नंबर 11, whether any discrepancy is noticed in form 1, 2, 3 with reference to their issuance in accordance with the RERA Act rules and regulation, मतलब चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट, इंजीनियर और आर्किटेक्ट ने जो सर्टिफिकेट इशू किए हैं वो बराबर किए नहीं किए हैं, वो एक चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट को सर्टिफाई करना पड़ेगा। दिस इज द पॉइंट 11 सेज। पॉइंट 12 सेज एनी अदर नोट। सो ये एक शॉर्ट में फॉर्म 5 है। ललित जी आपका कुछ कहना है, राय थत्ता जी तो आप बोल सकते हैं, अश्विन जी एंड आदित्य जी, वी कैन हैव अ डिस्कशन ऑन दैट।
Madhav ji, first of all, Form 5 to my mind is an annual audit report, because if I look at section 4.2 LD, it says that books of account has to be audited. So by whatever name any authority is giving to the form or content or certificate, but it's an audit and it's a statutory audit under RERA. And my opinion is that even under income tax, we get the extension to file the return because of this statutory audit. That is first thing. Second is they are asking whether there is any discrepancy in architect certificate or not. How can a chartered accountant find a discrepancy in an architect certificate, means say for example, architect says that slabs are completed 100%. Can a chartered accountant is required to go and visit the site, verify whether architect is correct or not? I'm not clear on that, because this is too much is asking.
ललित जी बताएंगे, ललित जी राय तत्ता। ललित जी आप बताइए।
सर फॉर्म 1-2 में जो आप बोल रहे हो सही बात है सर। I put one note in my form 5. 1-2 checking of 1 and 2 form is a technical matter, and we are not competent to do the same thing. खत्म बात।
आदित्य आपका क्या कहना है? What is your view? सर अश्विन जी, मेरा आपसे एक हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है, 10 मिनट्स बचा है। Since beginning we 4-5 people are only discussing, and I would like to hear from other people also after Aditya complete.
Yes. So basically what I feel is form 1 and 2, form 1 is out of the scope because there he is architect. At least in form 2, if we are having certain records, because if it is on actual basis, then at least we can understand itna material you isne maintain kiya hai. So basically we can certain get to the extent that this was the bill amount, and on materiality basis we can at least know what if he has properly maintained at the developer end and some record is maintained. But in case of form 1, we cannot comment on the physical verification of what facilities he is giving, what is the work completion of that, and whatever it is. And in case of form 3, now here in Maharera especially, we have totally made duplication of efforts, because in form 3 we are also asking the same thing, and in form 5. So there is now no difference between form 3 and form 5. Because here also we have bank details. They are asking loan details. How much is the estimation at the time of the initiation of the project? So they are asking that estimation, especially also at the time of each certificate. They are asking estimation. So this they are going beyond the scope, and they are going beyond the rules also. Ultimately, this thing form 1 and 2. These things should be left out to their respective professionals only, and not a matter of the auditor, because we are not the person who can judge them on that basis, because ultimately we have the protection of the SA 620 use of auditor's expert, so that we can rely on form 2. And even in that case, if we are asked to comment on that, so somewhere we are contradicting each other's role, and that is not correct. That is what I feel.
So Ashwin ji, my humble request that please ask the questions from the another participants also, because I don't know much people. So it should be some more interactive, at least 5-10 minutes. Aditya, you can also ask, please, to other participants to share their views or question.
We can ask. I don't think so. There is an advocate and Abhilash Gupta. Yes, Mukhopadhyay ji, can you?
Yes, sir. I'm okay. I'm enjoying it, and I'm gaining a lot of knowledge and insight. I'm based out of Ahmedabad, and I look forward to be a representative licensing out here for any work.
Okay. Abhilash Gupta, you want to say anything? Or do you have any queries?
No, sir. No, nothing.
So Ashwin ji, now.
Yes. So I will conclude this by saying that Form 3 and Form 5 designed by Gujarat RERA is going much beyond the scope of the Act and in the intention of the Act. See, if we look at the preamble of the Act, that there is a sale of apartment and there is a efficient and transparent mechanism. That is one of the preamble wherein all these things are covered. So, but these are going beyond the scope of the Act and the rules. But some representation should be given by the Institute of Chartered Accountant or the WRC or the Ahmedabad Association of Chartered Accountants in this respect, because tomorrow, if anything goes wrong on the head of chartered accountant, because he's asked so many details, and if something goes wrong, then the final pointer would be on the chartered accountant only once the project is lapse project and there is a diversion or whatever. So one has to be very, very careful, or representation should be made by the Institute of Chartered Accountant on this account. Friends, we all will agree that Madhav Birla has given a deep insight into the subject on the certification part, Form 3, and the audit report under Gujarat RERA. And we are thankful, and I will request Aditya to propose the well-deserved order.
Thank you, Mahadev Birla, sir. Basically, we got a good overview of the entire Form 3 rather in detail, because I am shocked to see that most of the details are asked by the Gujarat RERA, and that too they have completely gone online, whereas we are still here manually uploading the forms, and there is a quarterly compliance here also, but still somewhere the execution is they are lacking in some cases. But here, especially in Gujarat, you have explained the Form 3 in such a beautiful manner and overview of Form 5 that we have understood that as a chartered accountant, what precautions, if you want to take, what are the expectations of the stakeholders involved in that particular sector. And especially, you have given one example of an order against a CA for not taking proper precautions while signing the form. So now the responsibility, and in this case, in future also, if any CA has been, any action has been taken against the CA, then what protection under the particular act or as a fraternity we have. So it's better, this will definitely play a guiding factor for all of us for signing the form in future. Thank you very much, sir. We are very much glad to have you. Especially you have come out with an excellent manual, Gujarat manual. And I hope that this manual will prove as a guiding factor for all the chartered accountants practicing, or rather all the stakeholders involved in the RERA sector in Gujarat.
Thank you, Lalitji. Thank you, Ashwinji, Lalitji.
Yeah, thank you, Madhavji. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank
so
you.
we end the session over here. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.